Hello children, good morning to all of you. I am Sujesh Kumar K, PGT English, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya Chikmagalur, Karnataka. Today I am going to teach you a new lesson from your prose textbook. The topic is Deep Water, written by William Douglas. Dear children, it is all about water phobia, hydrophobia, what we call hydrophobia. And here author William Douglas has undergone this phobia during his childhood. A brief introduction. The lesson Deep Water is an excerpt taken from Of Men and Mountains by William Douglas. He recounts a childhood experience and conquering of his fear of water. It describes how he was nearly drowned in a swimming pool. In this essay, he talks about his fear of water and thereafter how he finally overcame that fear. Okay, children? All of you take your textbook, page number 23. Okay, so I told you that this chapter is all about the hydrophobia. Okay, but at the same time it is a universal factor that many people will have this kind of phobia, and one has to overcome this, right? Here again the author was successful in overcoming the fear of water. So shall we begin now? Yeah, deep water, right? You can read the introduction. Okay, now straight away we start with the lesson. It had happened when I was 10 or 11 years old. I had decided to learn to swim. There was a pool at the YMCA in Yakima that offered exactly the opportunity. The Yakima River was treacherous. Mother continually warned against it and kept fresh in my mind the details of each drowning in the river. But the YMCA pool was safe. It was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end, and while it was 9 feet deep at the other. The drop was gradual. I got a pair of water wings and went to the pool. I hated to walk naked into it and show my skinny legs, but I subdued my pride and did it. So children, before we go for the explanation, let us see the difficult words in it. Okay, I think the first difficult word here is treacherous. All of you note down the word treacherous. That means dangerous. Treacherous here means dangerous. Okay, the word gradual, slow. Okay, gradual, slow. And another word meaning here, subdued. Okay, that is subdued. Here it is there, subdued. What do you mean by subdued? Conquered. Okay, fine. So here author was advised not to take or not to go near the river treacherous. Who advised him? His mother. Why? Because it was very dangerous. There was a pool at the YMCA and mother continually warned against it and kept fresh in my mind the details of each drowning in the river. Okay, It was not, and whereas the YMCA pool, that's a man-made artificial pool, and it was not treacherous. Why? Because it was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end. Shallow means not deep. Okay, opposite of deep is shallow. And while it was 9 feet deep at the other, the drop was gradual, slow drop. Okay, I got a pair of water wings, and in order to learn swimming, he had a pair of water wings, and at the same time he hated to walk naked because he is very skinny, or his legs are skinny, or he was very slim. But he conquered the pride and did it. Okay, from the beginning, however, I had an aversion, dislike, aversion to the water when I was in it. This started when I was 3 or 4 years old, and father took me to the beach in California. He and I stood together in the surf. I hung on to him, yet the waves knocked me down and swept over me. I was buried in water. My breath was gone. I was frightened. Father laughed, but there was terror in my heart at the overpowering force of the waves. Okay, children, here he had a misadventure. Otherwise, we can call it a small accident occurred when he was in the California beach along with his father. Okay, suddenly what happened? A strong wave came and knocked down the author from the hands of his parent, and he was almost buried in water, means dipped in water, and his breath was almost gone, and he was frightened, panicked. Frightened here means panicked, and for father it was a laughter, it was a fun, but for the child, a small child, it was a great fear, and it took many days for him to overcome this fear. Okay, so that was the first incident of through which he developed fear of water. Okay, so shall we continue? The next paragraph, my introduction to the YMCA swimming pool revived. Okay, revived unpleasant memories, bad memories, and stirred childish fear. Okay, yeah, what is that? Yeah, that incident. Which incident? That incident that happened in California beach revived. What do you mean by revived? Brought back the bad memories and stirred, shaken his childhood fear. But in a little while I gathered confidence. I paddled with my new water wings. What is paddling? Walking through the water. Walking through the water is called paddled. So he paddled with watching the other boys and trying to learn by aping. What do you mean by aping? By imitating, aping them. I did this 2 or 3 times on different days and was just beginning to feel at ease in the water when the misadventure happened. So here is another difficult word for you, misadventure, accident. Okay, you have a few difficult words here. One is misadventure. Okay, you have written paddled. Okay, you have written revived, brought back. Okay, then what else? Is there any? Frightened, panicked. Right. So these are difficult words that you have to write in your notebook. Okay, then suddenly while he was learning to swim in YMCA pool, why he was learning to swim? Because he wanted to overcome the fear. Okay, suddenly some misadventure happened. Let us see what is that misadventure. I went to the pool when no one else was there. The place was quiet, calm. The water was still. Again, no motion. Still means motionless. And the tiled bottom was as white, as clean as a bathtub. He could see the bottom of the swimming pool. I was timid timid here means shy. I was timid about going in alone, so I sat on the side of the pool to wait for others. Actually, he had fear getting into water alone, so he was waiting for others to join. I had not been there for a long time when in came a big bruiser boy. What do you mean by bruiser boy? All of you write down. A bruiser boy, a very strong boy, bruiser, a bully type. Bruiser means bully. Write down, bully. A bruiser of a boy, probably 18-year-old. He had thick hair on his chest. His chest was full of thick hair. He was a beautiful physical specimen, a sample with legs and arms that showed rippling muscles. He yelled, "Hi, skinny, how do you like to be ducked? How do you like to be ducked?" Who said? That bully boy. Okay, the bully. And ducked means dived. Okay, ducking into water, diving into water. So that is what he asked. And with that, he picked me up and tossed me into the deep end. I landed in a sitting position. While he was falling into water, he was in sitting position, swallowed water, and went at once to the bottom. Immediately he went to the bottom, and he was totally frightened. I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. Okay, on the way down, I planned when my feet hit the bottom, I would make a big jump, come to the surface, lie flat on it, and paddle to the edge of the pool. So he decided when he was about to touch, or when he was touching the bottom, he would make a big jump and would escape to the surface. Okay, so children, this much we will do for the day, and go through the difficult words. I told you it is all about a phobia developed by author about water. Okay, there is two incidents are there highlighted here. One is the California incident. When he was very small, his father took him to a beach in California where he was knocked down by the wave and he was almost dipped into water. Okay, so that is the first fear. And the next fear is then he was about to learn his swimming in YMCA pool. A bruiser boy, a bully boy came and tucked him into water, and he was drowning towards the bottom. So these two incidents you have to remember, and we will continue with the same lesson tomorrow. And let us make a okay, here the river, Yakima river, the map is given here, Yakima river, which is very treacherous. His mother used to advise him not to go there. Okay, but at the same time he wanted to learn to swim, so he opted YMCA pool, and YMCA pool is not that deep, and it is already mentioned at the shallow end it is 1 or 2 foot, and the other end it is 9 foot, right? Go through it, and we'll continue tomorrow. Deep water. Bye.